Hi everybody, welcome to part 4, the final push. All right, so I used some JB Weld metal epoxy and glued the ski post frames to the body, and I also took paper clip, just regular paper clip, and made little U pieces and put that in there and glued up epoxy on there just to reinforce the whole thing, and now it's nice and set, stiff. So we'll put some also on these posts, kitty coupler springs, and we'll put it, obviously I'll put the skis down, but I'll glue it to the platform to keep this thing, steady and protected. And I discovered I may have to do some more surgery on my little post office guy. I may have to cut his feet off, which, it's weird. You're not going to see it once it's in the cab, because there will be doors, right here. But yet I feel bad cutting his feet off. It's kind of weird, isn't it? But because he's still not quite fitting in there with the cab on. The cab still kind of hits him on the head, and getting resistance. I mean, his arm will be outside of the cab, but I think that's what we're gonna have to do. I hate to do it, but you got to make the model work. Okay, so I made the running board steps right here with stock brass wire and some styrene. I just bent the stock with my little pliers by eye, basically, and I did the engine crank. So let me flip this over so you can see a little better. Okay, so you can see the little running board steps and the engine crank. I still got to work on the hood ornament, and we'll have to paint those up. Once I get this stuff painted, I'm going to mount it on the board, and then get this backtrack mounted on, just glue it, and put the driver on, get the main cab put on, and then work on the back little box that holds the mailbags. Okay, I don't know if this is going to work, but to make the hood ornament, I'm going to take this piece of brass stock, hold it with the pliers, and take my little hammer that I got from Harbor Freight, and on this piece of old rail, and use as an anvil to see if I can pound the wire flat. So far, not going well. Dang. Well, it's getting there. I keep saying that, don't I? Well, not as flat as I want, but I don't think I'm going to get exactly like the hood ornament in the movie, but if I can just get some kind of interesting shape here, that'll be cool. Well, it's getting flattened. I mean, it's got a curve. I can straighten that easy enough, but the one in the movie actually is flared right about there with a little hole in it. I don't know if I can, if I get this flat enough, I could probably, whoops, pull that off, but I don't know if I can. Dang it, I keep hitting the plier. This is about as fun as watching paint dry, huh? All right, well, getting some shape. Let me keep working on this. Okay, it's not exactly like the movie, but it's about as close as I'm gonna get it. I hammered it flat, drilled a little hole in it, Let me see if I can place it in here without dropping it. I'm just shaking my dang hands. Oh, I dropped it. You know what? Let me put it on and I'll show you. Okay, there it is in place. Yeah, it's a little rough. But you can remember, this thing is tiny. I mean, look at this. Is my finger. So I'm calling that done because I'm going cross-eyed. My eyes are watering, and I about had enough. And you know, the deeper I get into this build, the more I'm thinking, what was I thinking? I built a diorama in what, a week and a half, and this is what I think going on 4 weeks. But anyways, as always, we're getting there. Okay, so I've been working on this almost every night, and I'm not showing you every little thing I do because I'm just trying to get this thing done. But since last time, I glued on the headlights, painted them gold, and I put you can see, I did try to make lenses, or just white. It's just that white tester's glue from gluing in windows. You just put a little dot in there and it dries. And let's see, I got the mailman painted up in the proper colors. Let me get a light in there, you can see. And I glued the post here into the styrene with Gorilla Glue, and then put a dash of the Tomea, the thicker glue to hold the plastic to plastic. That stuff works great. Painted the steps silver. Like I said, he's painted. I glued the cab on. I had to build doors yet. You can see a little bit of the whiteness from the glue. They'll get painted over, so you won't see that. And I started building the back piece. Oops, right here. So that's going to be a challenge because the top, it's going to be about this tall, but the top flares out on the sides and the back. And to get those angles is going to be a little tricky. I'm going to attempt it. If it becomes a real headache, we're going to just go with a square box. So, you know, it's really coming along. Oh, and a little surprise. In the movie, there's a penguin called Topper. Like, I'm stuck to a piece of tape so I can paint, but I painted Topper's scarf on. You know, the movie was black and yellow. And and if you watch the end of the movie, he jumped in the back of this car. So did some other characters, but I'm not making them. But so really just got to get the back made, painted, and I did buy some blank, I think it's clear decal paper to make the, because the side says US, or I think it says US mail or something on the side right here on the box in the back. Gonna attempt to print out little decals. If I can't, well, we'll just skip that for now, but this is where we are, so I'm just gonna continue on. All right, I have all the parts finally glued on. As you can see, I have the cab roof posts right here. I'll turn this a little bit. Hood ornament, doors, and the back box. I'll just spin it around so you can see the other side. Now, I didn't do this exactly like the one in the movie because the one in the movie is out of scale, really. The figure is huge, and you know, it was just made for the movie. This is actually to scale, so that's why things aren't quite exactly the same, but you know what? Good enough. And I think I'm not going to put the tapered top on this. I don't know, it's a little out of my abilities, let's say. And I just want to get this done because it's been working on for weeks. And I'm going to skip making the decal for now. We'll wait till next Christmas. Let me just show you the one from the movie real quick. If I can get it here. Whoops. Let me turn it. As you can see, the figure's huge. It wouldn't be that big in a Model T, even though they were small. And I'm getting horrible glare on the screen, aren't I? But yeah, I didn't put the tapered piece. And I'll have to make these decals. Or if I ever get a 3D printer, make that little frame out of 3D. But don't hold my breath. All right, so I'll paint this up and I'll show you the finished truck. Okay, everybody, I finally finished. Got everything painted, glued on. Put some snow on the little platform I built for it. Got the mail bags in place. I got a lot more mail bags than the movie one because, like I said, this is more to scale. Where the one for the movie is, you know, a little more, I guess you could describe cartoonish in a way, the scaling. But I did put a little weathering snow. And let me turn it for you. You can see the front. See the hood ornament a little better. And the engine crank. And we got our buddy Topper. I just love Topper. If you ever seen the movie, you know, he's a cute little guy. And I'll show you the rear real quick. Not much to see, but yeah, just a little dusty of snow. So, you know, it came out pretty good. I've always wanted this vehicle, so I finally have it. It would have been nice if I finished, oh, I don't know, what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? But I learned 2 things from this build and watching the videos I made. One, if you have a date you want to get this thing finished by, add a month and start sooner. And 2, I could really use a manicure. My hands are so dry and awful looking. Oh well. So, I hope you enjoy watching me build this, and if I decide to build another vehicle, can someone please tell me no? This thing took forever. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you down by the tracks.